This is Mira Business FM. It's the morning drive with me, Tim Elliott. Good morning. Welcome to you. You could be with us at mirabusiness.fm, the website. You could be watching on YouTube, wherever you are. You're very welcome, whether it's across social media, wherever. Drop us a like, hit subscribe. We do appreciate it. Now, it's the business of food here on the program, a topic that we talk a great deal about in the office and not enough on air, probably. I think that's fair to say. Chef, Culinary Ambassador, CEO of the Efzin Group of companies, Chef Sperxos is a culinary entrepreneur known for his ability to modernize traditional Greek cuisine. He's built a multi-concept empire, including signature restaurants like The Dish and the wellness-focused Efzin Fresh. Chef, I'm going to call you that. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me for today.
It's really good to have you here. There's so much to talk about with you. We've just spent, 20 minutes off air talking. We should really have recorded that interview and broadcast that. But look, where do I start? You're an official ambassador of Greek gastronomy here in the UAE. You have just been awarded your golden visa. You do NFTs. You do glow-in-the-dark menu. There's loads to get to. But I want to start with you. Your childhood in Greece. You're from Kalavita, I believe, which is, 100 miles, 120 miles from Athens? Is that where you come from?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
For a small village in the mountains.
Okay.
I grew up there.
Yeah.
And I moved back to Athens.
Right.
Then to study and everything.
Okay.
But you have done very nice research, I can see.
I just read the notes that they gave me, honestly. But what I really like about this, I have a whole kind of thing about Greece. I love Greece. I said to you off air, I've spent quite a lot of time there over the years. I had my honeymoon in Greece. I worked, kind of lived on Mykonos for a little while, a long time ago, before the change. But there's something about it. Somebody cracked a joke to me years ago, and I still think it's funny because I'm a sad man. You've seen the movie Grease. And there's the line in the song, Greece is the word, and it was always Greece, as in the country, is the word. Now, for some reason, I find that very funny, but it means a lot to me because I've had a great time there. So you grew up surrounded by farms in Kalavita before you moved back to Athens, I guess. How do you look back at that? Because it's that experience of sourcing those sort of real quality, organic ingredients, the really fresh, kind of Mediterranean staples, if you like. How did that shape your philosophy as a chef? What was like that as a grounding, as a background for you?
This is actually where all of my inspiration today is coming from.
Right.
Like, I will never forget, like, my grandmother, picking up the carrots, picking up the roots, picking up the beetroots, and give me basically to taste it straight away.
Yeah.
Not even cook or anything. I'm from a very small village, in Greece, in the Peloponnese area, all the way into mountains. We do have a ski center and quite of cold all the seasons of the year, where all the vegetables is being growing as basically a seasonal.
Yeah.
Let's say, like in the summertime, we're going to have the tomatoes, we're going to have like basically all the things where it's like a summery. And after this, like in the winter time, autumn to winter, you'll have the apple, the way you'll grab it and have it. My family is farmers. Basically, this is how I grow up as a farmer. Later on, like my father, he opened a butchery, a small butchery, in a small city, 15 kilometers far away from the village. And later on, basically, they opened a small hotel and restaurant under the ski center. This is where all basically, the inspiration started.
Well, it's interesting, because you're talking about seasonal produce there, and it's kind of a hard concept to grasp in somewhere like Dubai because everything is available all year round. So you want a particular type of apple, it's probably in a supermarket somewhere. You want tomatoes of this variety, they're available. And but from where you were, your cooking kind of reflects that, I think, in a lot of ways, that, what was available, you used to the best of your ability with the ingredients that were available, the condiments that were available. It's a different way of thinking.
Correct, but even in Dubai, with all the way of the sustainability, the local farms, and basically, let's say the seasonal vegetables and fruits, you can even start making your menus here in the same way.
Okay.
Yes, you have the available apple everywhere, but because you have different seasons, let's say we're getting from Australia, where basically in Australia is the opposite of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have like, because you are in the center of the world, right? Where basically you can pick and source like for different countries. But in the same time, as a chef, I still keep, like basically on my menus a seasonal menu with the vegetables and the fruits as much I can, basically, and like
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
really change it. Because let's say we don't have a cherry tomatoes from Spain or from Greece because we import a lot of products from there. Then what I will basically do is like I will use sustainable products from here, from the local market, because I don't like the killing of the fruits on the transportation. It's something where basically Dubai starts a lot now, like the homegrown basically vegetables, fruits, and everything. Where I really love to use these products more than even like come from Greece, because I had some chefs, like that was like arguing with me, like how you can say the cherry tomatoes from Spain they don't have a better flavor, and they have a better flavor in UAE. Um, and the answer it was like in UAE you grow. With any ways you grow in the middle of the desert or anything, but you're still gonna be growing it, but you don't have the transportation of the fruits
Yeah, yeah.
to kill all the fruit because tomato is a fruit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People they know like as a vegetable, but originally it's fruit.
Mm.
As soon as you put in the fruits, but as a Greek, I never put the tomatoes in fruits, cherry tomatoes and tomatoes.
That's a no-no, huh?
No,
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 no, no.
no.
Then, like, basically for me, because you want the sugar, you want the flavor, you want basically the growth, like, and the taste, like, to be original, right? Then, one of the dishes we making and everybody loving it is the Greek salad. And like, how come? Where it's coming from the cherry tomatoes? I'm like, guys, you don't need to find out, like, basically how a good tomato it is, but you need to see from like the earth all the way like how it's coming to your restaurant, and just try like basically to see out what is the mistakes all the chefs they be doing, all the transportation companies like to have the actual flavor where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
put in the fridge.
Yeah.
Then this is the reason I use the cherry tomatoes from UAE, because the flavor and like the, you can say the temperature, it's correct to give a right attitude like for me and flavor like on my dish.
And I mean, Greek salad's a pretty simple thing, isn't it? It's a simple dish. It's a simple everyday. It's how many ingredients? 4 ingredients?
It's
Is it?
just 4 to 5 ingredients.
With decent olive oil, I suppose. There, and it's
In
incredible.
Greece, we cut the tomato, we put rock salt and olive oil, and that's it. Then you
Yeah,
basically cut
yeah.
it straight, like from the earth. No fridge, no cooling down, no anything. Then this is the reason, like the sweetener. It's like the banana, right? Banana is also like a fruit. Then if you take the banana and you put in the fridge,
Yeah.
you will never gonna have the actual flavor. And when I travel to Asia, in many countries in Asia, like for traveling shows and etc., when I go there, what I want to eat is that basically pick from the tree and eat.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, it's that kind of farm to table kind of idea, isn't it? That's the thing. Let me just before we go any further, I have to ask this, but it's there's a lot I want to talk to you about your business and everything else. But let's stick to the food thing at the moment. How do you define? Because you're in a position to do this, classic Greek food. Something I don't know from your childhood. You mentioned your grandmother there, picking vegetables with her. What for you is the classic Greek dish? Do you
It's a
think?
traditional way and traditional recipes, and it's all about basically reminds you your home. As
Sure.
a chef, like I will gonna be success, like only if I go all the way back, and when I sit down and I give to my client, let's say a dish, I want him to remind his family cooking. Doesn't matter how his appearance and the show off, like because I love like my dishes to be really redefined,
Yeah, yeah.
but only in the way of looks.
Okay.
When we go
Okay.
to the taste, I use all of my grandmother's recipes, my mother recipes, and the recipes for the most traditional people. Let's say, like for how you grilling the steaks, how you basically using charcoal, how you go back to the traditional baklava, right? I still use my grandmother recipe, and I just try only to sweet a little bit, just the heaviness, because we live in Dubai and I love healthy food. I don't really like the heaviness in Greece sometimes,
Okay.
but in the same time, like I believe there all the way of success, like as a chef, is to take you back and the time to eat, to create a memories for mother, grandmother, and home.
So you're basically saying, look, there are lots of things they're just fine tuned. They're slightly finer. But what would be the dish that takes you back to your childhood and your mother and your grandmother and the people around the table? What would be the thing that you think that's Greek food to me? That's what it should be. Is there one?
It's many. I will tell you about one dish where
Okay,
basically
okay.
in Greece, it's like in all the newspapers, magazines, and TV, and they keep talking about this dish. Uh, 11 years ago, when I came to UA,
Mm.
right, like they don't really know what is Greek cuisine. They don't really understand it this time, except the people who used to travel in Greece, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. It was odd to find a Greek restaurant. It's unusual,
It was
really.
like, I think it was only one Greek restaurant. Then
Yeah.
when I came in One and Only, I used to work in One and Only Royal Mirage.
Hmm.
I came over, like I request, like to the team there, like to start import products from Greece. Because people know what is Greek salad, but they don't know what is trachanas. Where trachanas is like in my village, and they feeding the kids, the family eating every Sunday. They actually is the easiest food where it's like a bulgur, similar with a bulgur, right? Was one food where is remind my mom because it was like every week, 2, 3 times, you will have to have that. It was like the poor pasta, let's say, like in Greece,
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Then I create a recipe with a stew lamb sang, with a stew lamb, basically.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And I add this pasta. Then this is in all of my restaurants now. Basically, you can find this dish. And this is one dish, where basically in Greece they're talking about me and they're like, wow, how basically you serve something like that. Because people, they know baklava, they know Greek salad, but
Sure.
they don't really know this traditional recipe for the grandmother. Then I make it like it, because at some point I didn't like it anymore. It was a very traditional, they just give me every day. Then I make it like it. Then this is what basically is one of the days where basically if you visit my cuisine or taste my cuisine, you will be going all the way back to Greece, to the very, very small villages. And this is what all about is a chef.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's a bit like music in a lot of ways. When you hear a song you haven't heard for years and you're taken back, it transports you to, a night in, 1978, whatever it was. Maybe not that far back for you, but you know what I mean. It takes you back to that time. And food, I think, often does the same thing. When you get something in a particular flavor, can transport you back in time. And there's a comfortable sort of feeling that goes with that. It's very difficult to put this into words, but you know what I mean.
I do believe all of the chefs, they have to follow exactly the same structure what I say now, because as a client, what we basically like we live in Dubai, right? You can access a lot of fine dining food and multi cuisines for all around the world.
Yep.
But in the same time, let's say I go to the Thai restaurant. When I will have like a traditional Thai food, or I go to the Indian restaurant, I have a proper biryani, right? As a chef, I want to take me back in like to India when I travel India and I have this original flavor. The
Yeah.
same is it with the Greek food, the same with the French, UK food. Then I believe all the chefs, they have to start thinking food is all about emotional, taste, memories. Then when you succeed that, you will succeed having a regular customers, regular clients that are going to come to your restaurant because they will take them all the way back. It's good to be fancy. I am also a fancy chef in the social media and etc. etc. But when we go to the cooking, I want to flavor this type of like recipes, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with it looking good. I mean, it's very much the case now, isn't it? And you say it there, I'm a fancy chef and I understand the social media. Well, that's necessary in your business. You want to generate a buzz and you need to market what you do. Look, Greek cuisine is rich in history. I think probably lots of people think, oh, I really like this dolmades or souvlaki or maybe spanakopita. There are lots of different things that we can, because we've had our holidays in Greece and the memories that you have. You're kind of praised for your ability to give traditional dishes a modern twist, and obviously that's something that you really like to do. But I wanted to ask you one thing, and I have no idea what this is. I haven't been to your restaurant, but what is molten portocalopita?
Oh my God. Yes, I will tell you what
I
is that.
was like, because I'm thinking it's a spanakopita, but it's a portable. I don't know how. What is it?
Okay, let me explain you what is the pita. Pita is mean pie in Greece, right?
Yes.
Then
Yeah.
portokalopita is mean an orange pie. Is a dessert, where
Okay.
basically in my village we do making whatever is remaining from the baklava, like from
Okay.
the filo pastry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just collecting that together with the butter and everything,
Uh-huh.
and we're just mixing up eggs, orange, basically to understand is like the easiest recipe,
Right.
and putting like on the tray, cook in the oven, put some syrup, and have it. Then this recipe is not something usually it's used to be exists all days in Greece,
Uh-huh.
but what it was remaining, like when you make galaktoburko or baklava, you was collecting, put a little bit flavor, put in the oven. Then now it's like a really trend in Greece to have portokalopita, and my area have a lot of oranges and lemons,
Huh.
where portokali mean orange in Greece. Then if you come to a restaurant, you will try like basically the flavor of the filo pastry with egg and like it's not really eggy, but it's like a syrup, sugar syrup, but the flavor is coming out is from orange.
Okay, let's put that to bed. That's good. I needed to know because I'm looking at it thinking I'm not sure about this. Now I am sure about this. In 2019, you're named an official ambassador of Greek gastronomy in the UAE. What does that title mean to you? First of all, personally, how do you feel about that? And how do you go about, how do you strategize elevating the kind of profile of Greek food in this region? Because as you say, a few years ago, Greek restaurant was an unusual thing. You had to really search. Now, a little bit easier. So, the time is now. Things are going well, I think.
Correct. Basically, 2019, they give me the award, like from it's like the Greek government in a collaboration, like with the biggest chefs there, and etc. etc.
Yeah.
And the reason it's happened that is because I was, I mean, it's not about like ego or something, but I was the only chef like in UAE 2017, 2018, and 2015, where basically I import products where it's a very specific, because this time they was using like just the products around like to create recipes,
Yeah.
but this time like we go through and I had all the sources like from all the places I used to work, not on, to import all these products straight from the village, straight from the grandmother, and create these recipes in UAE, where we create like a different recipes in UAE, and after this, many people have been copied, and now where we reach, like today, they have a fantastic Greek chefs in the country, beautiful Greek restaurants, and we have more than 40 to 50 Greek restaurants in UAE, and every single restaurant you will go, you will find Greek recipes.
Yeah. The Greek restaurants in shopping malls now, and that was never a thing 2015.
Correct. And this time I had the opportunity to travel in different countries like Papua New Guinea, Australia, like Singapore, Tokyo. Like I've been traveled from 2018 to 2020, 21. I used to travel. I still travel basically, and I want to show the Greek recipes can stand in every single place in the world with the existing ingredients. Then this is how the awards came, but obviously I got like for Middle East and United Arab Emirates because I used to stay here and it's my home the last 11 years here. Then as a Greek, I'm a little bit expert for them. But as a UAE, I'm also expert for them. Then, basically it's like 50-50 anymore.
And how has it influenced what you do with, you're building a business empire, but how does it influence what you do at work? The fact that you have this award, how do you take the knowledge from the traveling that you're doing and apply that to Greek cuisine, and how does that help?
I think I came in this world, like basically, like to do that. I do love, like to showcasing the world what is mean the real, like Greek food.
Okay.
And all of this is helping a lot of my dishes because I combine multi-tap, actually, let me go all the way back. I start traveling because I didn't understand the culture. I didn't understand basically my team members where you used to work for me because there was a lot from Asia and I never traveled to Asia. Then the first time I travel Asia is just to understand my team, understand my chefs, understand like the team, members, that work next to me. And obviously, like as a chef, like I love to find out the culture of the people from the food, because what you eat, this is how basically you think, this is how you behave, this is who you are basically.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Then when I travel to Asia, like I start combine Greek recipes, like with Asian recipes, and like see how this all a Greek cuisine can stand all around the world. Because I've been to Papua New Guinea, and I was like, wow, like where I will find a Greek product here to create Greek recipes, right?
Mm.
And I do find the local products, and I create the Greek recipes. And after, I was believing, okay, Greek cuisine can stand anywhere in the world. It's all about healthy products, and basically not healthy, but organic, pure products.
Yeah.
Then you can develop. Later on, all this traveling, um, and the Greek recipes, but like also, I was like when I visit Asia, I was eating for grandmothers, not in a five-star restaurant. I was eating on the street, and all of this combines together, and this is basically how is my recipes today in every single venue we basically operating.
So you have to live it, don't you? You have to
Correct.
live the food experience, I suppose. So you came here 2015, 10 years ago. You work at the one and only for a few years ago. 3 years ago? You were three
No,
years there?
2013, I came
Oh, you
here.
were 2013. Okay, so you're there. So you moved to Dubai. You grow your business to the Efzin Group of companies. You've got, what, 14 venues, I'm reading here, including the Dish and Efzin Fresh. That's pretty rapid success, I have to say. What was the biggest commercial or even logistical challenge you faced when you launched? Because you're scaling a multi-concept business in a market. Dubai is a pretty competitive place. I mean, it can't have been easy.
It's never easy.
Sure.
No one, it's not raining money, right?
No, no.
It is all about hard work, teamwork, and respect for what you do. But I believe in energy. I believe, or if we wake up every morning and you basically, like being proud, you have one more day to live, you have to live it in 100%.
Mm.
Then I love to work. I can say I'm a little bit alcoholic.
Workaholic? I was going to say,
Workaholic,
maybe
basically.
distinguish between those two, but there you are.
Correct. But
But
also
how many hours do you work a day, on average? You're obviously
12
up
to
early in the morning.
13.
And that's 7 days a week.
This is 7 days per week.
Right,
I
that's
try to
definitely
just skip a
workaholic.
little bit Sunday evening
Okay.
anymore or Sunday lunch, but I'm always on work. Even if I'm not in the venues, I will be always, like on the Zoom calls. We have other companies also.
Mm-hmm.
I do operate other companies in Greece, like, and different, like companies basically of food industry. We do other stuff also. We do have a PR company where it's operating in Greece. It's operating like in 12 different countries with my team. Then we do have clothing company coming soon.
But I'm just trying to follow the logic here. You're a chef. You have a PR company. Okay, so your PR company makes sure that you're saying the right things. I suppose clothing's perfectly logical. You're wearing the right things. Who am I to say? Fair.
I will tell you what is like basically how all this is started.
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago, when I started the Efzin Group, how it started is basically I left a restaurant where I used to work, and before COVID, like COVID was like 5 years ago, like 4.5 something.
Yep.
Then I was like the success story after COVID, you can say. How? I left the restaurant. I was like, I'm enough. People, they give me budgeting. People, they give me all the day the office. They want me all the day, basically, just sit down and go through like numbers and etc. etc. But today I do the same, pretty much. But
I was going to say, what gives there?
correct. But this time I say, I left a Greek restaurant, like from the point where we start this time. Then I go forward and I say, okay, I start the private dining. I will start a private dining experience in the villa, in the yacht, in the private jets, anywhere basically in the location of the client.
Right.
Then I got a chef, one chef plus myself. Then we start working on that. 6 months later, like before COVID, like you can say hit, I had like 9 private chefs under me in 6 months' time because I had like a very good connection, like in the country for people. They was coming from aboard in the villas, in the yachts. And the COVID came. Then everything go to private. This time, all the chefs, you can say, and like a lot of people from the industry, they used to know me. They was like, come on, what does it mean private chef in a yacht? Like, you're a five-star chef from the hotels, and you go and you cook in a yacht. And I was like, guys, we create experience. And this is what is making me happy, to create experience.
This is what's so important about a real restaurant, isn't it? A really successful restaurant. It's not just, food is fuel. You eat something, you feel better, you get a bit of energy, but it's not that. It's the experience which is the key.
Correct.
Yeah.
Basically, you can say many chefs, they're cooking very well. I'm not one of the best chefs in the world, but what I want for my business is the people that will come over to have experience, to feel comfortable, to feel like home, to feel, like all the work behind the scenes, you can say, from the chef to the waiter, from the attitude, the table, the chairs, the elevation. I mean, it's all about feel basically comfortable. Like, then I believe this time we start making people feel comfortable. COVID came, hit it hard in UAE. Many restaurants closed, and I was hiring and hiring and hiring all of the chefs. And was doing private dining. We was doing like 5 to 7 events per day, 10 events per day, where it was all about 10 clients. Pretty much we were charging like very expensive because the products we was using, it was all about 5-star. I was using the Wagyu, the cherry tomatoes, import from Greece, import from Spain. And in 1 year, we was like a team of 40 people, and we was killing the market. And after this, now I'm very happy because also at the moment, the private dining experience, the private chefs in the country, it's crazy, right? This time they was laughing with me, but today, basically, people, like, I believe I give a little bit on the map of Dubai what is all about the private dining experience. They sit at home and have like a private chef, create 5-star experience and all of these kind of things. Then after this, the restaurants came, Expo came, and today we are where we are with a team around 200 people full-time, almost, 95 chefs under my company. And I believe the team is where, the support of my team is where they brought me today here, and all the repeating clients and the people who has believed on me.
That's a huge number of chefs. I had no idea it was that big. I mean, you really are very much kind of the modern chef. Social media. You were I think the world's first NFT chef, which is there's a thing. Glow in the dark menus is another thing that kind of jumps off the page when people read about you. But why do you think it's important to blend tech and art and spectacle with what you create from a culinary perspective? How much does that drive the business forward, that kind of innovation? And how much does that engage customers? It clearly works for you, I think.
Even my recipes is going all the way back to the roots. We live in 2025.
Yeah.
And in UAE, sustainability, AI, and innovation, it's something where basically we need to do. Like, is the time, like basically all the young generation to use, we use the social media, we use the NFTs, we use all of these type of things, not because just we want to succeed for the market, but we're doing because it's a challenge every day to me, how I will make for a private dining experience for one client, and we have only customized menus. Then it was a customized menu this night for, can I say, for Sephora. They were basically, we go ahead, we capture the picture,
Yep.
and we go all the way to NFTs. Then all around the world, they was talking about NFTs, and I was like, Jesus Christ, what do we have created today, right? Like, it was, for us, we love basically to create. We love all the new inspiration, all the innovation, the AI. I believe the world is going to AI, but still, the recipes has to do the traditional, has to remind me a story for my grandmother, but the way we'll present it is going to be something different.
So what's at the heart of it is still kind of the soul of the thing. Everything else that's around it, that's there's a benefit to all of that, and there's a reason for all of that. But the heart of it for you is that it has to taste good.
Correct. It has to day like and create me memories.
Right.
If the food creates the memories, and if any company we operate with my team, I tell them one thing: the client have to have like a memory. The time he will visit the restaurant, he will buy something, he will feel something. He has to have the memory of the experience and the memory of to being comfortable, how it was at his home. Then when he feel that, right, everything else is basically can be acceptable. The mistake of the waiters, the mistake of the dish. You know, we operate like 14 different locations. You will have problems, like for sure.
Yeah.
Clients, etc., etc. But if I make you to feel comfortable, because sometimes humans have a bad days. Some days, sometimes my clients is not always right. Sorry, but my team, they are not right when they don't make them feel they're right, or when they don't asking them what is all about this day. Because sometimes we have a bad day. I have a bad day. You have a bad day. Everybody have a bad day. Very stressful. Dubai is very competitive market.
Yep.
Then if I make you feel comfortable, you will be my client. I love who is the client. They always having a comments about anything, because this, I can take the comments. My team has to take the comments. This is what I tell them every day. And basically, you have to go all the way back and restructure policies, see why he complains, and this is what's going to make you a better. Even as a CEO, even as a chef, even as a waiter, if it's anything, comments sometimes is waste, but most of the time is not waste. You have to rethink it as per your clients, what they need.
It's a good way to look at criticism, I think, because one of the things in your industry is, there are days when, chef has a bad day and the meal isn't up to scratch. People notice. I mean, it's very easy to criticize, isn't it? But you have to take that on the chin. But if you take the view, if your attitude is, all right, why was that bad? Let's look at that and let's make it better. You're going to succeed, aren't you?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonably straightforward. Look, we've been talking about ages. We've got time, don't worry. Let's just go over time. Wellness and healthy eating, this is a big deal now. These are trends. Talk to me about the vision behind Efzin Fresh. How is it different from what you do in fine dining? And how do you balance that kind of authenticity, the Greek ingredients, with being, health focused, or, the shop, the restaurant format? How does that work? Because it's a balance, isn't it?
Efzin Fresh, you can say, is like mostly Mediterranean recipes.
Okay.
Greece is obviously Mediterranean, like is a Mediterranean part. Then we do a lot of Spanish, Italian, Greek recipes, but in Efzin Fresh, we focus in the very healthy ingredients with less cooking techniques.
Okay.
And like we in-source all of the products very, very carefully, because we don't want basically, see, sugar is not good for the health, but the natural sugar is very good for the health. Then in Efzin Fresh, we use a natural sugar. We use honey. We use not really stevia and etc., but we're going to use the honey. We're going to use the bananas. We'll use the vegetable. We'll use the fructose, and we will create like way healthier lifestyle through Efzin Fresh. This is not meaning not, people all around the world, they believe healthy is mean no taste. But healthy has nothing to do with the taste.
I've often thought that. I always think, no, give me full fat.
You know, full fat of beautiful beef Wagyu, where I have it in my restaurant. Efzin Fresh have Wagyu beef. And they're like, what? This is like 5,000 calories. I say, let me tell you, this is a very good fat. Has nothing to do with the fry and etc., etc., etc. Human beings need everything, and like the body is required everything. In Efzin Fresh, we work very hardly for every single recipe that's going to go in the menu, because we have a different perspective of how the people think is healthy. What does that mean? We believe on the cold pressed juice, but I do not believe, like basically of buying the juice from the supermarket. I believe you wake up in the morning and you cold press the juice and you have it, and you are full of vitamins and everything. Then we don't really sell ready-made products. Let's say we don't use chemicals, let's say, these days, but we go through the food to create anything what body needs.
Okay. Okay.
And it works. The cold pressed juices in the morning with the ginger and the lemon every morning I see crazy difference like on my own skin, where basically I was not even believing like things like that can work. But when you start consume and using and your energy level is increased, and because we have to go to the gym, we have to train, we have to eat well. This is how we think. This is how we basically like living. The life is here to live, and you have to find time for what you eat. You have to find time to go to the gym, and you have to find time to love even the food, even the family, even anything you want around.
There's a whole philosophy around everything you do, isn't there? You have a very specific kind of, this is all about living and living well.
Correct.
You've just been given a 10-year gold visa. It kind of recognises your contributions, what you've done for the hospitality industry. And I know that you're a big fan of Dubai, and off air you mentioned this, but you feel very strongly that the way the business environment has supported you here, that's been really important to your success here in the UAE. And I know you feel that Dubai has really kind of nurtured you. What is this kind of long-term commitment? Because you're being encouraged to do things here, encouraged to contribute, encouraged to stay in the country. What does that mean for what you may do in the future? How you might expand your business? Do you think? What can you tell me?
I can tell you Dubai is my home.
Right.
And the way why I basically believe Dubai is my home is because the innovation, the AI, the sustainability, and the way how this country has been grow for 11 years I'm here. Like if I go all the way back 11 years before, I was completely different person. And if I go back how it was Dubai 11 years ago, it was completely different.
Yeah.
How it is today.
Yeah.
Then the inspiration and the vision of the country, it's make me feel like to go through all of my business here because I can see a competition and difference. Like you go back to Greece and things is very different. Like I can say, like I learned in Dubai. I came 23 years old as a chef here. They give me the opportunity, like to operate 4 restaurants in one of the best hotels and resorts in the world, right? They believe on me, where in our own countries, maybe it can take 40 years to believe someone on you, right? I work hard, obviously, like it's nothing like, but hard work here is pays off. And in Europe is happening, and all around the world is happening. But the way of the country here is being growing, and is being changing, and is being basically, how you say, like inspire you every day to do something else. And the challenge is it's like crazy here in the market. Like, I mean, it's really challenging, like every single day you need to update your restaurant. Like you need to see something, you need to see something new, you need to train your team. It's
Dubai's
something,
fast. It's a fast pace.
but I love that.
Yeah. No, I mean, clearly you thrive on it. Let me ask you a little bit about leadership, because I don't know the way it works here. Most radio stations, it will work that there's the producer. You've met Michael, who produces this show, and what Michael will do is book people, talk to people, tells me what to do, shouts at me when I'm late, that kind of thing, but also writes lots of notes. And this is a very particular question that I think he's put in. I think he's looking for a career change, but I'm not sure. But I think it's an interesting question. Running 14 venues requires a massive team effort. How would you describe your leadership style in the kitchen and the boardroom? And what is the single most important quality you look for when hiring a head chef or manager for one of your concepts? I think Michael, as a food lover, is looking to become a head chef. But anyway, the question remains, what do you like as a leader, and what do you look for in the people that you work with?
I like as a leader the honesty. I like people to be honest,
Right.
even they do mistake, even they don't do mistake. I like them to just be basically not apologize to me, but take the full responsibility basically for the positive and the negative.
Okay.
Um,
You need to give them the autonomy to do that. You need to, you need to nurture that, allow people that kind of responsibility, don't you?
Correct. We
Yeah.
give a lot of responsibilities to our team, and we allow them basically to do a lot of mistakes because this is how you grow. And I'm always like behind them, like to support them. in every single thing they required every day, from the PR team, from the chef, from the assistant, from the cleaner. Then I give them the responsibility, but in the same time, I'm always there for them. Then I believe they're being inspired from me the same way how I've been inspired from my previous chef, and the same way how I basically grow every single day. Like, let's say, my knowledge, in the same way I try to give knowledge every single day to my team,
Mm.
like from the new recipes, new things to stay longer with me because they're learning and they feel the love and the passion behind all this.
Look ahead 5 or 10 years, if you can. I'm sure you're projecting forward and thinking about the next thing that you're going to do. What's the goal? What's the legacy that you aim to build? Are you looking to expand outside of the UAE? Would you look at maybe, okay, I'm going to go back and do this in Greece from here, for example, or move around the GCC? What's on the radar for you?
From the business side,
Yeah.
obviously, like the expansion, like we're looking for, it's mostly in Middle East at the moment. We do like have like a little bit business outside, like for Efzin, and a little bit, like basically for the PR companies. But we do look, like all the way around in UAE, like to create more stable restaurants, more new concepts where basically we're going to bring more sustainability, even more and more, right? And we believe, like we can like support a lot the people, like for well-being. I mean, the way they think, the way like they basically live every single day. Then, but as a person, I am sure, like I'm looking for the next 5 years from now to just being traveling the world, um, cook, stay like couple of days, like with the grandmothers in another different part of the world, like taste the ingredients, feel the nature, but in the same time, like support like a lot, like basically my skills as a human, come back to the roots, like feel all this, and after bring all this to my dishes, to the food and to the industry, and that's it.
Okay. Well, no, I like that. Look, there's a couple of questions coming in for you, actually. So let me just put these two. If you want to get in touch with the show, it's very easy. WhatsApp.mira.fm. Type that into your browser if you have WhatsApp on your laptop or desktop or whatever, and it should come up. This is Arlene. What's the biggest mistake you see, chef, people making when they try to cook Greek food outside of Greece? Is there a simple cultural or cooking mindset or tip you could offer? What's the biggest mistake you see people making when they try to cook Greek food? What do you think? That's not Greek. Don't do that.
No, it's not about is quick or is not quick.
Okay.
But if you don't understand the culture for any cuisine in the world, you can't cook this cuisine.
Okay.
I can cook an amazing sushi, but like let's say amazing like Japanese food, right?
Right.
I can make an amazing teriyaki sauce, whatever, like many different things. If I don't visit Tokyo, I don't stay with the locals, I don't feel the culture, I can't cook this food. Then one of the biggest mistake basically is you have to go through as a chef, any of the chefs, any of the team members, to understand the culture and after deliver the culture of the plate.
Which is why traveling is so important to you, I guess.
Very important.
Yeah, okay.
And I do believe the most of the people, and they have to travel the world. The chefs, they need to travel, they need to taste, they need to feel the flavor, and after they need to create their own dishes.
Okay, there you go. Arlene, go and visit wherever it is. Go to Greece. Have a summer holiday. Get to Athens. Go and see the Parthenon. Chef, I've been following you on social media. I am a big fan. What does it take for you to hire me in your kitchen? I'm going to write it on my CV. I'm sure that's Michael outside, and if it's not, that's reasonable. But, I mean, if somebody was to write to you and say, look, I really like what you do, I guess you'd be open to meeting somebody if they're looking for work, wouldn't you?
Of course.
You never know.
We basically tried, like, I mean, we have like a big payroll, but in the same time, we looking to find people who's basically real, honest, and they have love for what they do. We never look as chefs or anybody basically, like who has a crazy experience or something like this, but we look at the people who has basically the right attitude to join my team.
Yeah, okay.
Because we will teach you what we need. We have our own culture in our group. Then we will teach you what we need. But in the same time, you have to be open without egos to do understand. You have to deliver what basically we're looking for. Something we're doing right for the last 6 years, grow where we grow. Then anyone who is joining my team, he need to understand basically, it's obviously like a debate conversation for a couple of things. But in the same time, culture, texture, flavors, nationalities, and all these kind of things, like for us, it doesn't matter. But it matter basically, like if you're really open to work with all the teamwork, and success basically together with the rest.
Because being a chef, I think, is very much about, I mean, first of all, not being afraid of hard work, because the hours are long. The eyes just floated up in your head there. I can see it. They are. You have to work, really put the effort in. But there's a real mentality that goes with that. I think you have to be very resilient to be able to do it, to take the criticism, to stay on, just to be on your feet for as long as you are in a day.
I am more flexible now anymore with my team. All days I used to be like way different from how we are today. I also learned for very old style chefs where basically this time you can't talk. And I used to be a little bit like that, but now with my team, I'm like, prove me it's something better, and I will drop my ego and I will go ahead and I will just put it on the menu even with your name.
Okay.
Because in our teams, we don't have any more basically all these egos. Because I do have like many restaurants, many menus. We do like more than 5,000 to 7,000 recipes in all of the venues around. Then I can't create all this, like, for the basic, only the pastry and the healthy is like more than 1,000 recipes, like from the cold pressed juice, this and this and that. Like I can't create everything by myself, right? I need a team. And that's when my team, like basically respect my group and respect me. This is where everything and all the success is coming in the recipes, because they understand my culture. And many of my team, they visit in Greece all the time. I do have many of my teams, we operate in Mykonos every summer, right? And the team is working in Mykonos for me. It's like the team who is working in Dubai. And like, it's a lot of Asians, like different Europeans, different people. But I want my team also to understand what is Greece before develop this Greek dish, right? And all my leaders, they have to visit Greece. They have to visit, let's say, different parts of the world. And I'm traveling a lot. I do different stuff. My team is joining me in the travels many times. Because
But it's so important to go somewhere. I mean, I would recommend anybody goes to Greece. That's just a personal opinion, but it's very important to you that's clear that if you're gonna cook somebody something from a particular place, if you've not visited there, it's almost like you don't have the right to do it. It's going in that direction. You need to visit somewhere and taste, I don't know, vine leaves, dolmades in Greece to really understand it.
I mean, you
the way
can't.
it should be.
It's look like like basically being a doctor, but you never being like let's say surgeon, but you never being in like surgery room. Like it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. No,
Like you
I'm kind
can't,
of with you.
right? I mean, the chefs like in these days they believe. See, I think the social media have been basically changed a little bit the industry of food, and everything's looked fantastic. Everybody concentrating in the social media, but they don't know the base. When they build up Burj Khalifa, they first start with the base. They don't go to the roof, like all the way down. They go from down all the way up, correct? Then as a chef, if you don't know the basic standard culture, inspiration and recipes for a classic cuisine for Greece, for Japanese, for Indian or anything, how you can create fine dining dishes? How you will do that?
It's so true. We've all had nights in restaurants where you really look forward to the
You
dish
go
and
to the
it's
English
come
restaurant, right?
over and you think
You're English.
English restaurants. What are they?
But I will answer you the question.
Sure.
Did the people these days, like you're going to the English pub, did they know what is mean Sunday roasty? Roast
Look,
potatoes,
it's like
like a
anything.
meat. When you go to UK, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
sit down to the the grandmother is cooking for you. It's like fantastic, the food.
Mm.
Then you go here and everybody like, oh, what do you do? I do English cuisine. I'm like, did you know anything about that?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, and I think that's a very fair point. It's the thing that English food is much maligned for a good reason as well. But a really good Sunday roast dinner or a really good fish and chips, very simple stuff. But when it's really good, and I think that applies wherever you go in the world.
But it's simple for who?
That's the thing. Well, ostensibly it's simple because it's not fine dining.
Correct.
It's,
This is the reason basically I'm not hiring a chef, like who is coming to me and they believing in like they will create the most fine dining dishes. I do have a chefs where they come to me and they say, okay, do you know how to cook? Let's say you're like, if you're a Greek nationality, do you know how to cook lentil soup? And they're like, what? I'm like, listen, you're not going to create my dishes.
Yeah.
I will teach you my dishes, but do you know the base?
Yeah,
An
yeah,
Indian chef,
yeah.
do you know how to make biryani? He's like, no, I'm like out, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But then, in this part of the world particularly, a good lentil soup is very hard to beat.
You need to know the base of the cuisine.
You do. I was thinking last night, just making a few kind of mental notes and writing some points down, thinking, right, talking to Chef Sperxos tomorrow, what do I want to ask him? And then I thought, the final question is, I'm going to plead with you. I'm kind of begging, but, nicely. Could you please introduce, and I don't know if you're going to be doing like lines of, food that may go into supermarkets, but real Greek yogurt. You know the yogurt that you don't spoon it, you have to slice it with a knife and add the honey and maybe pistachio. And I was thinking, and I thought, hold on a minute, I've got an idea for you. So let me put this to you. How about Dubai yogurt? We've had Dubai chocolate. We've got Abu Dhabi chocolate. How about Dubai yogurt? Like a Greek yogurt? You're not very inspired by my idea, are you? I don't think it's going to work. You're thinking about it,
I
but
will tell you, like
you're going to adapt it straight away, aren't you?
I will tell you about this idea basically. Like we thought a lot of times, to create, things like that here, but the milk insource, like for the real Greek yogurt, it's from the sheep and the goat.
Okay, doesn't work.
But basically here we don't really have, we didn't reach the level, to have growing, farms with the sheep and all this. I mean, we do have the yogurt, it's coming from, we have the Dubai, they have the yogurt from different brands here, where you go to eat and it's not really coming out correctly because the fat of the milk of the cow is a way less of the sheep and the goat. This is the reason you don't have this basically here.
I know.
Then
It looks like a
maybe
brick.
it's something like in the future.
Well, I was thinking, it's actually a slightly more serious question than I intended it because, there is an opportunity here, is there not, for somebody like you doing the things that you do to get into, food production, specific kind of foods, I guess, not just importing, olive oil or olives or whatever it is, but there's, the creative aspect, I suppose. Is that interesting to you?
It is very interesting to me. And basically, I'm from an area where we have the best feta in Greece. And the biggest manufacturer of feta in Greece basically is in my village where they do still with a traditional way and they export all around the world. And my area is like 80% of farmers,
Right.
but basically we grow up like this. I grow up like this. I know how you make yogurt. I still smell basically the room, in my room where it was heat and you have to just take the milk and cover it up with extra blankets and all these kind of things. And my mother, she would take from there and she would strain, And I'm like, oh my God, I still have, the memory of the smell, in a room. Because this time, we didn't have like a factory or whatever. Then we have to do at home. But a good Greek yogurt from the cow can be done. And maybe I'm thinking about that now. Because we do have like two different of ways, right? Like the cow, like yogurt also can be very good. Because now you remind me also a memory where it was really, really good, then you're mixing and et cetera, et cetera. But I think like I was going to think about that. I mean, we have like some nice...
Well, do you know what? You can have that idea for free. So there you are. That's another bonus for being at Mira Business FM this morning. Look, we could
You
talk
see, example,
for
like something
hours.
amazing, like you part of this country and this community, right? Then you even, with what you say now, like even the listeners, they can use the idea and
Sure.
they can basically go through, like to inspire what you say, then if you go to Greece, like, and you talk with someone, or you go all around the world, he will not go through, like, to give the ideas like this, because the people use ego. But in this country, we, like, I think all of us, we are part of ego of success of the country and growth.
That's actually a nice way to put it, because I think there is a great deal of truth in that. But there is, and it's a nice place to end as well. Let's face it, Chef Sperxos, chef, restaurateur, culinary ambassador, CEO, entrepreneur. There are a million other things. But you know what? I've really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much, and I hope all the success, because I know you just started here. Then
We have.
I hope all the success, and any support, we'll be more than happy to support you.
It's been great to talk to you. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
This is Mira Business FM.